Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, and they thought it couldn't be done. The ultimate arcade, console, computer, handheld, all under the same roof. Welcome everyone to May 1982, where we last played Power Path on the Atari home computer. And if you caught last episode, I couldn't remember the name of the game, very similar to this one. It was Stun Trap for the Atari home computer. Stun Trap pits one player against another shooter head-to-head, and when you can also change the walls, extending the walls, making it more dangerous for your opponent. But I consider Stun Trap a little bit better than Power Path. And also, another one that we played before was Pathfinder, and I couldn't think of the name that was played very similar, and that was Andromeda, which makes sense because it was by Solitaire Group, same developer, and pretty much used the same engine for Pathfinder. All right, and with that, after Power Path, let's press forward and see our next game. Now in May 1982, still on the Atari home computer, they just keep pumping out game after game. Here is Pushover. Let's check out Pushover for the Atari home computer. First thing I'd like to do is show you this.
These families are learning about home computers. The family with the Atari home computer is learning
Spanish, German,
French,
Italian.
The other,
No foreign languages.
Oh,
the
no.
Atari family is learning
3 programs teach us to program.
the other.
We've only one.
And while the Atari family learns to play Centipede Star Raiders, and soon,
E.T.
the other learned
He made a mistake.
over 1,000 programs featuring the world's most popular games. But sorry, only with Atari.
Sorry, only with Atari. I want to know if E.T. ever did come out for the Atari home computer. Stay tuned here on the channel. We'll see if it actually does. I know it's for sure on the Atari VCS, but the home computer, I don't think so. Let's see what other art we have for Pushover. The front of the box is by APX, just like everything else, looks like business software, not a video game. And if you look at close on the front of the box, it says June 1982. This could be May or June, one of those two kind of close in between. We're in the time where it's really difficult to pin down the exact date of when a game came out. This could have been the cassette or disc. 32K of RAM needed to play Pushover. Flip it over in the back, and the APX boxes really don't share anything. Well, as far as ET goes, I don't think it came out for the computer. I think it was only for VCS, where we've heard it flopped, but we'll see. Only time will tell. No information about the game there. There is the advertisement for APX, programs by users, for users, and we've seen a lot. If you've been watching on the channel, there's a lot of APX games out there. We've been stacking them up high, just like that guy. Here's our 5 1/4 floppy disk. This is by Joel Gluck. Way to go, Joel, with an example of the screenshot. We also have the manual inside the box by APX. Let's take a look at Pushover. There it is, yeah, June 1982. For a few sources, we're saying May, or at least when you look in magazines, sometimes they say it's going to come out, or it's come out, or they even have a review for Pushover. And so how do you determine when exactly the game was released based on when the magazine tells you? All right, so let's see what Pushover is. Everything by APX still looks like business software. I mean, this is typed up, almost hand typed up. Okay, so overview. You're locked in a life or death struggle with your opponent high atop a two-sided cliff. As quickly as possible, you have to interpret one of 3 types of command symbols or a mind-boggling mixture displayed on the face of the cliff. You race to respond to the commands with your joystick. Each correct response, you push your opponent closer to the edge of the cliff. The battle can rage back and forth until finally the one who persists wins the round as the other warrior plunges to the ground. The battles continue until one player loses all of their 3 warriors. Yeah, right? For 99 cents, that's not too bad. Oh, that's true. We did get on the 5200, so I guess that kind of counts for the Atari home computer. One player can compete against the computer using a variety of skill levels. In a 2-player contest, you can use the handicap option to achieve closer matches. So it doesn't have to have a second player with you. You can use a computer if need be. So there is need 32K in our Atari system. There's the loading instructions. If we use disk, we have to make sure we run it the right way. We shouldn't need that one, but you never know here. We're playing computer games. So we can pick 1 or 2 players, and then difficulty level, 1 easy, 9 impossible, and then even add handicapped. And they have different types of competition. Oh, what's going to be prompted on the screen? Gotcha, okay. And then how do you start the game? Push start on your system, and oh, they even have more tips. It's really not a complicated game, so I'm surprised why the manual goes so long. They break down that you have to have the red button down if it is a red command, and if it's blue, you don't need to push the red button down. This is essentially a very good 2-player competitive game that's doing something we haven't seen before, but it's a really simple concept. So even though it's new or fresh, it's still is interesting gameplay. I'll just put it that way. So we also have the special key spacebar. Pushing start on your computer or select will pause the game. And it'll even do, what does start do? During the score rounds, it turns back to the option page. Okay, great. Make sure you don't push break or you'll break the system. There's the technical information for you. And then as usual, the APX manual at the very back, there it is, has the review form. How good was the game? If they get enough reviews in, Atari then takes the game and says, you know what, let's put this out on cartridge. Let's make some more money if it's really good. Yes! Welcome back, Elkers B. Welcome back, Chiptune. And Negus Prime, welcome. All right, so Pushover. This one has the basic and the main version. We're going to be playing in basic on our Atari home computer at the beginning of May 1982. This is by Joel Gluck. Let's see what APX has for us. Oh, nice opening. Wow, did APX pay them to put that there? Or did Joel just do that for fun? I don't believe we've seen this kind of cinematic for any APX game. Advertising, it's APX. That's pretty fresh. We really get these a lot more on computer than console, where they explain and show the game. Welcome to Pushover. Type a digit to answer each question. Okay, so how many players do we want? We're going to start with a 2-player game, even though there's no 2-player here. And then advantage for left player or right player, and we're going to say neither. No one gets advantage or handicapped. And then what kind of competition do we want? Now, if you have arrows, this means that it's just going to show you which direction to move your joystick, and that's all you got to know. If you do numbers, you have to follow the numbers on that explains in the manual, which is one of the eight directions is a number. So you have 8 different numbers to choose from. And then letters is the same. You have to know which letter to choose from, but it's still, you're only moving the joystick. You just have to know which letter corresponds to which direction. I believe the manual showed us. Let's pull that back up. Just so you can see how to play. So if you were playing with a friend, it's a really competitive game, really kind of fun to play. So there you go. If you decide to do numbers, if it says number 1, you would need to have your joystick in the up position. Or if it says letters, if it says E, you have to pull back on your joystick. So that's what they're referring to when they say if you're going to do letters, numbers, or if you're going to mix it all up and make it crazy. And then they also have help. I don't understand. So if we did that and say help, you can say it's going to explain what we're talking about. And then whatever they pop on the screen, if it's red, you have to have the red VCS button held down. If it's blue, you don't need to have it held down. So want to continue, you can see they're explaining it, and they even have a diagram. Very helpful if you don't have the manual with you. Everyone loses the manual, so you got to have that. Okay, so which of the above we want to do? Let's do the simple way, just arrows, so you can understand which joystick way we're doing. And then type 1 to start and reach change options. Let's go. Time to play some Pushover. Player 1 jumps in. Player 2 jumps in. I do not have a guest with me today, so I'm playing with 2 joysticks at the same time. Oh, we bow like with sumo wrestling. Okay, go. Now here's the deal. The arrows at the bottom of the screen, whoever's the fastest to push. I'm playing as 1 player on the left side, so if I move my joystick without holding the button down, because it's not red, it will push the character away. If I follow my directions on the left side, you can see I'm just using the joystick, holding the red button down and pushing, and if I follow the commands quick enough or faster than my opponent, it shoves them to the other side. So it's kind of a version of tug of war in a sense. If you have 2 people here, then you're going to be competing to go back and forth, and it's not waiting for your response. It's just look at the symbol that's on the screen and then go quick. So it's a knee-jerk reaction with your joystick, trying to get as many commands as you can to push the other player to the other side. So if you have 2 players, it's pretty intense, action-packed. The characters moving left and right. Who can be knocked off the side? That's true. If we were going to classify this today, it'd be a quick-time event game. That's basically what it is. All right, so hold triggers to start. Remaining. Okay, so this is looking for the other trigger, right? Yeah, so both players have to be ready. I had to push both buttons on player 1 and player 2. The concept's a great idea. We haven't seen anything like this. It's going to be really easy. I'll do it as second player. You can see the second player push them off the side. And you can also complicate it, making numbers or letters for the directions. So this is me as the player on the right side, following all the directions as quick as I can. And all you do is move the joystick in the right spot. For 2 players, though, I would say this would be pretty cool to play. In 1982, this would be a lot of fun. and then mix it up, having to push the button down and whether or not, okay, what is this, 2 men remaining? Okay, yeah, so it keeps going back and forth until there's a victor. Now, it doesn't have to be 2 people, though. So if we wanted to push start, I believe it was start or option once I go in the game. There you go. Goes back to the beginning, and you can go 1 player. So I'm going to reset it and show you how to play against a computer. I'm going to do easy level. You can go pretty crazy, though. We'll do the same thing, just arrows, and starting with computer opponent. The easy computer opponent. Love the presentation. It's great. All right, I do not have a dummy. Now we have an artificial intelligence. All right, doing pretty good. Oh, he got one on me. So if you're, I'm trying to go as quick as I can, but as soon as he gets one in, he pushes me to the side. Yeah, there we go. And obviously you go to higher and higher difficulties. If you go to impossible, it's pretty much you have to have everything perfect. If you don't hit the command perfectly, then you're just going to be slammed into the other side. All right, so the very aptly named Pushover is a awesome concept. I would say of all the games we've seen to this point, Pushover on a computer game is great. It's a really excellent title. It is a simple concept, but playing with 2 people would be fairly interesting. I'm going to say of all the computer games, this is an above average title for sure. Yeah, everything's random. So whenever they change the direction of the joystick or where it's supposed to go, it's completely random. And you have to make sure you match that. So you have to be ready on point to move the joystick in the right way. All right, so I'm going to go, because it is just 2-player competitive and you can play against the computer, the presentation is pretty good, but I'm still going to go 3.5 stars. It's a great idea, but it doesn't have too much content. It's just that one concept is pretty good. Yeah, and the presentation is great. And you bow, yeah, like Mortal Kombat. You got special moves going on or something. Good point. All right, so that's Pushover. After that, let's see where we're going now. Our next game is on the IBM personal computer. This is the Queen of Hearts maze game. Now, we say MS-DOS in the top left of the screen, but honestly, this could be PC booter. This could be PC compatibles. There's a lot of different systems that can play this, and we're going to have even more later, like when Tandy's introduced, and then the custom-built systems. All this is going to be under the umbrella of MS-DOS. And this is the Queen of Hearts maze game. Let's take a look at the Queen of Hearts maze game. Another one that doesn't have any box, just a few screenshots. Let's pop in and play the Queen of Hearts maze game in the beginning of May 1982. Are we using a color monitor? Yes, we are. We shelled out the color monitor. Do we want to play keyboard or joystick? That's pretty rare to have joystick programmed in on the IBM. So I'm going to go with joystick since we can. There we go. And we want music? Yes, we want to hear that beeper music. What level of difficulty? 1 is the hardest. So ace is the hardest. King, queen, jack. I'm going to go jack. I think it's speed is how we're going to work this out. There it is. Bring on the music. Queen of Hearts isn't playing a full deck. Find the 4 missing cards while avoiding the crazy card charts. We are the ace. Oh, represented again by ASCII characters on the IBM. So there I am as the pink smiley face. Same characters we saw in a few other ones in the last episode. Pac-Gal and the Pac-Man style came. And it's the same idea. We're playing a Pac-Man variant here. Picking up the musical notes. And I believe I need to get all of the suits. So I'm going to go and get heart. With music. Oh, and then we go for the diamond. Okay, so it is Pac-Man. The power-ups are in the corners, but it is giving you a different objective to go find the other symbols for cards. It doesn't look good, though. So I'm wondering if my objective is to clear out all the dots or just pick up all the set. I'm going to go ahead and get the club over here. Oh, man, that beeper sounds really nice. And last one, grabbing the spade if they don't get me first. So does that end the maze? Yeah, it does. So you don't have to pick up all the dots. A variation of Pac-Man once again. Yeah, and there's lots of different versions. So that's a good point, Elkers, because the system that you're seeing now, depending on what monitor you have or what hardware that you have at the time, this could look and sound slightly different. And we're going to see that with lots of other computers. So if you see the game and you're like, that didn't sound or look exactly the way that I remember, well, because there's just so many variations that could be out there. It's going to be really fun later, though, whenever we get different sound cards that come in and video cards, because what we're going to do is when we boot up the game, we're going to showcase the different ways it can look and sound, at least what was available at the time. All right, so I don't need to get any of these dots. What am I picking up dots for? Just go and get the symbols. Oh, but it's cleared out all the power-ups. This new level didn't reset any... Oh, yeah, I'm just totally trapped. No way. All right, that's pretty good. I'd say of the games we played, it's better than the Pac-Gal. At least it moves a little bit better, but it's still using ASCII characters. I'd say of all the games you could play on a home computer, it's an average title. 3 stars for the Queen of Hearts maze game. As usual, anyone here for the live show, throw out those ratings on our 5-star rating scale. What would you give it? You got to be in 1982, though. Join me in 1982. I say perfectly average, the Queen of Hearts maze game. And with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We're now on the Apple II, and this is Rescue Fido. That's right, Rescue Fido.
Apple computer. My Apple has a great head for stats.
Everyone's got an Apple computer in 1982.
There are more people in
Italy,
more places doing more things with Apples than
Japan,
with any other personal computer
New York,
in the world.
Man, we never travel without the Apple.
And
California,
of all these people using Apples, most
Mexico,
had never touched a computer before. Apple, the most personal computer.
Whenever we checked out the Video Electronic Games magazine, they said the top 2 computers right now, at least they were talking about North America, was the Apple II and then the Atari. So I wanted to know what were really the sales. I'm still going to say I bet Apple II is still on the top as best sales or best selling computer right now, until later this year when the #1 computer comes out. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so this is Rescue Fido. No box that I could find for this one. It actually has 2 versions. One I found called Just Fido, and then one that was called Rescue Fido, both by Pat Montello. Let's pop in and play Rescue Fido, the beginning of May 1982. Rescue Fido. Never heard of this one. Maybe Pat just did it on his own. This is by Homer Brothers Software. Call Homer Brothers to be placed on our mailing list with our next release. Quick, write that number down. And it says, we've only seen one other company do this. Please copy this disc and give it to every Apple owner you know. The only way electronic distribution authors like Bill, Bashan, blah, 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 all these people can afford programming is via your help. Homer Brothers Software will receive the disc and documentation on the next release. If you have a program you'd like Homer Brothers Software to distribute it. So they're saying, please copy and give it to everybody. At least this game. There's only one other title we know that did that. And off the top of my head, I can't remember which one it was. So this is Fido. We got Fido as the green-looking guy there. The guards look like robots from Berserk. And then we have the tanks, the shoes, the yurts. So all the enemies in the game. What is Rescue Fido? Well, your faithful companion Fido is mistaken for Butch Brawler, the canine killer, and been taken into questioning by police guard robots because of a fatal error in the guard robot's Z80 microprocessor used in the 70s and 80s by inferior microcomputers. Obviously, they are Apple II fans, which is the MOS 6502 that's on the Apple II, and they probably think that they're basically bashing the Z80. The robots not only mistake Fido as a ruthless killer, but get caught in dismembering crowd control subroutine set to execute at midnight. Your mission is to fight your way through Z80-controlled computer police weaponry to the execution station and beam Fido aboard your warrior ship. A word from the author. I wrote Fido in 6-month period in 1982. Fido was my first Apple 6502 code program written via the mini assembler. Fido uses prehistoric graphics and bad coding techniques and should not be used to learn from. I hope you enjoy playing. Okay, thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. Thanks for giving us the heads up. So this one uses either Sirius, Joyport, the Apple joystick, or keyboard. We're going to go with the Apple joystick. So push number 2. We got it plugged in. We're ready to play. Homer Brothers Software. I'm pretty sure Pat must have been one of those Homer Brothers. And he's telling or claiming that he didn't program this really the right way or the best way. And I'm thinking that's why we have a copy that's also called Just Fido and Rescue Fido. But I couldn't find any artwork on this one. Yes, let's go. Space to play. What is this? Skill level 1 through 3 will go 1. And then if we do 2 players, it's alternating play. So I'm going to go one player. Player 1. 5 ships left. Very nice. Oh, great arcade feel. All right, we're in. I am moving the ship around if I want to fire and shoot. Oh, I guess that's my starting position. So it's letting me start where I want. And there's the guards taking away poor Fido. Programmed with just an inferior operating or processor with a Z80. At least that's what Pat says. Oh, gosh. So, okay, we're in. I'm moving around the ship, and I can shoot in front. I have one shot at a time. Tanks are scrambling at the top of the screen. I don't understand what the tanks at the top are for. Am I supposed to be able to sneak up there? There's one that's coming in every now and then on the side. But it moves pretty well for the Apple II joystick. I'm trying to see. Do I need to get to the top and blow those? I think so, but I have one still coming in. I don't think I can slip up there. Pretty simple concept so far. Not seeing any... Well, unless I'm supposed to get to the top and blow away the other tanks. Let's see, right here. There's my opening. Go! Oh, no, it didn't work. Or maybe there's just a barrier. I'm not supposed to go up on top. 4 ships left. We have to rescue Fido. Alright, so I'm going to pick start position way over there. Oh, wow. It loaded a lot faster that time. Oh, we did it. Level 1, stage 2. Okay, so we did need to go to the top. We're on the saucer stage. Switching up the enemies. Let's see. Saucers, let's start down here at the bottom. Okay, same thing. I'm only able to shoot one shot at the time at a time. And now it looks like I'm shooting hot air balloons. But a pretty okay title for the time. This would be kind of a time waster for the Apple II, at least what I can see so far. It seems like a developer just was having some fun programming the game, but not anything that I would say is particularly impressive. You see the play control is very, very slow. It is interesting they're giving me the option to start where I want, though, before beginning. And there we go, back on the saucers, and then I think we only have one more screen. That's what is described on the instructions. And where is Fido? Do I get to shoot the guards in the last phase? And I can only shoot one way, so a very bizarre shoot 'em up. It's not scrolling the screen, it's fixed, but this is it. That's true, characters are done very well. Oh, there we go, level 3. Yeah, you just shoot a few things and then move on to the... Now we're on to the Yurts. And I don't know where to start on Yurts. We'll start over here. Oh, they switch it up. Okay, it is changing. So Yurts are multiple shots to take out. I still only got one shot at a time. I don't see them really attacking me, though. I don't... It feels like I'm playing a game that's not finished. Like they need to do more for the title because I feel like I'm hacking the game and doing what I'm not supposed to do. And why are my shots going up and down when there's no enemies at the bottom? It's possible too that I'm playing on the first difficulty level and we're going to see multiple enemies if we try different difficulty levels. All right, stage 4, there's more screens. The shoe stage. Probably taking an homage from Sneakers. Let's go down here and shoot from... Oh, a bad starting spot. How many lives I got left? Okay, 2 ships left. Switch it up. If we're on Sneakers or Shoes, we'll go to the far left side. Okay, here we go. Yep, same idea. Only one shot at a time. I do like the humor when we play games where the person that writes the game has a good sense of humor. That's always fun. Like making fun of the inferiority of the Z80 chip compared to the 6502. That's hilarious. Now, again, I don't know what's qualifying to go to the next round except just survive. Shoot a few enemies up and then you go on to the next stage. Oh, here we go. Made stage 5. The bonus twits. And it's changing up the levels at least a little bit. Oh gosh, it's slow. Whoa, way slow. Oh no, something is so wrong. Oh my gosh. It's just chugging along. I'm going to see if I can just get closer and blow the guy up. And it has to wait for the shot to go to the bottom? Gosh. Oh, no, yeah, it's got to be something... Well, he did say, yeah, it has to be, right? Now I'm curious to know if Fido would run better than this one, but we have to give the developer credit. He said, don't take this game as one of the best programmed games, and there you go, it makes sense. So whether or not that it was the intention, or obviously the emulation to play Rescue Fido, I'd still say because of the presentation of the game and how it is switching things up, it's still around the average range. Because of our experience though, I'm going to go 2.5 stars for Rescue Fido. It has potential. It feels like an unfinished game, but I'm not going to call it bad. Yeah. So Chiptune's still saying 2.5. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it has the premise that this is going to be something good or fun for 1982. So that's why I say around the average range. Very curious. So there's Rescue Fido, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We're going to Europe on the Commodore VIC-20. This is Rocks 3. If you saw Rocks 2, well, this is the sequel. Get some more rocks out of your life. Another one that we don't have a box for, just a few screenshots. Let's pop in and play Rocks 3 by Jeff Minter and Llamasoft, beginning of May 1982. Jeff Minter is just pumping and pumping and pumping as many games as possible. So this one does not use the VIC-20 joystick, just like Rocks 2 did. Jeff's Llama says press return. Alrighty then. Okay, we're in. Now this one, I believe, has the same controls. Yes, it does. So you have 3 shots to shoot 3 different missiles in different directions. So I got one to shoot on top, one to shoot to the left, one to shoot to the right. So the left and right just shoot at 45-degree angles. The one at top just shoots straight ahead. I believe this is the same gameplay, or yeah, same play control as Rocks 2, just looks a little different. So it's just Jeff Minter playing around on the Commodore VIC-20. And it's just timing based. Get the asteroid before it comes in, and there's a nice touch of how it tears away at the ground below. Let's see, going to the left. Yeah, so it's just based on, can you get the timing right? But they also have, if you look at the top of the screen, how many panics are left. We got 3 panics. So if you want to panic, push the panic button, and then everything blows up that's on the screen. Llamasoft. And my timing is not on, because the asteroids are changing speeds, and to really work, there you go, get the timing in, hit them before they land. Once you shoot off one thing though, that's all you got. You can't wait until the next time. You're gonna just miss. And the longer you play, you'll either get points for the asteroids or lose more and more of the Earth as it falls down. You kind of get into a groove after a while and get used to the rhythm of the asteroids. Oh, we got one falling through. Not good. Yeah, that one faked me out. And we got more panic to use. Go, panic button now! And apologize again for the flashing. If you are... Oh, they got me. If you are sensitive to that, please close one eye for the flashing. But honestly, if you are sensitive to flashing, I wouldn't be watching games from 1982, because there's a lot of this. A lot of that happened. Okay, so the llama says press return. We are not pressing the return because we game over. But there you go. It's Rocks 3. I'd say of all the games we've seen to this point, Rocks 3 is still around the same range as what we saw with Rocks 2. Same idea. It's around the average range. Now, the gameplay itself is you don't even get to move. You have to push the buttons in the right timing. And so I'm going to say, because of that, the gameplay is limited. I'm going to say 2.5 stars. Still a subpar title for everything else we played up to this point. Graphically, it's all right for the VIC-20, but you know, no scrolling. We've seen the VIC-20 do a lot more than this. An actual rock, yeah. I don't know about this one. There could be so many things in the box, and I wish we could find everything. But just to get to play the game is a treat. Sometimes we're not even able to get the games that are lost forever. All right, and with that, that's Rocks 3. Let's see what our next game is. From one computer in England to another, let's see the ZX81 Rubik's Cube Simulator. If you said, I wanted to play a Rubik's Cube Simulator, but all I got is the ZX81, what do I do? Well, here you go. The best part was the flashing. You need to watch this show more often. We see that a lot. So Rubik's Cube Simulator has no box again. Just a few screenshots. Let's pop in the cassette and play Rubik's Cube Simulator by Mike Lee. Way to go, Mike. The beginning of May 1982. We boot it up and it just says Cube. And I go to a few sites in England to try to get as much artwork as we can from databases, and every now and then they have something to show, but this one does not. Do we want a mixed cube? Yes. I'm a little scared though. Do you want a mixed cube to have a position type? Do you still want a mixed cube? They're kind of warning us because get ready. This is what the game looks like. Rubik's Cube is the faces front, back, up, and down, and you input the upper face and move the Rubik's Cube this way. So very, very cumbersome. Still using the graphics seen familiar on the ZX81. Do you really want to play a Rubik's Cube game? Then this is the one. The only one we've seen on the ZX81, but that's all I was going to show. We're not actually going to solve a Rubik's Cube here on the channel. Buy a Rubik's Cube, put it in your hands. The novelty to play on the ZX81 though, I'm going to say bad. First of all, why play a Rubik's Cube video game? If you're that into Rubik's Cubes, I can understand if you are. But on the ZX81, there's better ways to play home computer Rubik's Cube variants. And yes, and it's black and white. So because of that, I'm going to go down here in the 1 range and say you are broken. It is a noble effort to try to get a Rubik's Cube game on the ZX81, and if that's all you got, then go for it. But we played a lot of computer games here, and this one does not cut it. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We're back on the Apple II. This is Saga number 2, Pirate Adventure. Scott Adams is back again, remaking his original games. If you listen in the background, we have the Votrax sound. This one is another one that you could have it sound like Stephen Hawking, actually, at the time. Here we go. That's what it sounded like. Now you and Stephen Hawking can have an adventure together. So, Saga Adventure 2, or Scott Adams Graphic Adventure. Let's take a look at the box. Oh man, lots to unpack here. So the original was on lots of home computers. This one is the very first time you could play it as the remake graphic adventure. And they completely changed up the graphics. I mean, it is a pirate adventure, and you're asking yourself, why is there a naked lady on the cover? Well, it's because pirates got to get that booty. That's why she's there. And you got to admit, the Adventure International has kind of done a risque things for some of their advertisement. And we've seen that for computers too. There's really not a lot of censorship that they do on the side, but I mean, these are made for kids, and kids do play this, but I don't know how many parents are going to buy Pirate Adventure with that on the cover. And we flip it over the back, and it's just like every other game by Adventure International. It tells you about how the game is run. There we go. Suggested age group 12 to adult. Oh, okay, I guess if they say 12, maybe. Yes, that's right. I knew you were going to chime in on those. All right, so Pirate Adventure, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum. You meet up with a pirate and his Daffy Bird, along with many strange sights as you attempt to go from your London flat to Treasure Island. Wait, Daffy Bird? I'm guessing they're reading real bird, like a pirate bird. And then they give you an overview of the story on the back, as we did before. This one has a few other features. You can see on the left, it has now the Votrax voice synthesizer, so the game can talk to you if you have the hardware. And there's the 5 1/4 floppy disk for Saga number 2, Pirate Adventure. An example of the screenshot. Other versions we have is just flipping the disc over. 2 different sides, and we're going to need that. Let's pop in and play Scott Adams Adventure 2, The Pirate Adventure. The beginning of May 1982. What do we want to do? We want to run it. It has a few other things on here too, like the demo, a few different demos you could check out if you wanted to. And as usual, just like we had with Adventureland when they remade that one, you can see the open letter by Scott Adams if you want to. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to hit Z. We're skipping. But there he is. We still get to get a picture of him. I'm going to fast forward this part. Load as quick as we possibly can. So there you go. The following keys are different to the Saga entries, Scott Adams Graphic Adventures. C to turn off and on and off lowercase, and then V to activate, deactivate the voice. I'm glad they had that, because if you had the hardware and you turned it on, maybe you get to the point you're like, oh, this is so annoying. I can't stand the voice. You can push one key and turn it all off. Easy than that. Z to turn the graphic mode on and off. Review, the text windows, hit and return, and then you have the commands to go north, south, east, and west. And now it wants us to flip our disk over. Our digital disc. And after you flip it over, hit enter. Obviously in 1982 it'd be a lot slower. To get the disk out, flip the disk over, put the disk in. After the disk is in, close the disk drive bay, and then hit enter. We can do it a lot faster here. Do we want to restore a previously saved game? No, we do not. We're ready to play. And we have no slot for voice output. I will be your Votrax voice this evening. And in the other Scott Adams games, this program allows you to have an adventure without ever leaving your armchair. All the same from the originals. And of course, don't copy or accept a pirated copy, but we're playing Pirate Adventure. Wouldn't that be apropos? That's a good point. This Votrax voice would be really helpful for people that have visual impairments. A lot of the games we play in 1982, you might have visual impairments occur of seeing the games from 1982. I'm already getting bad eyesight playing all these myself. Okay, so welcome to adventure number 2, Pirate Adventure by Alexis and Scott Adams, dedicated to Ted and Paul. Remember, you can always ask for help. What should we do? Now, if you hit enter, you can see it switches. Enter. There it is. It switches from the graphics to the what's displayed on the screen. So you can see, ooh, high-res graphics. We got it. So what we want to do, I think we can type in, it tells us what we see here. We have flight of stairs, a sign says bring treasures here, score, a bottle of rum, rug, safety, sneakers, and then a sack of crackers. All right, so what we're going to do is get sack. Don't forget to bring your sack. And if you go to the text screen and then start typing, it immediately switches, or go to the graphics screen and then start typing, it switches back. Kind of a nice feature. Oh gosh, it's redrawing it though. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, if you go back and forth, if I go to the graphics screen and then say, let's say get rum, as soon as I start typing, it switches back for you. Can I do sneakers too? No, I can't. I gotta do one at a time. Get rum. Getting the rum and gotta redraw the screen. This plays like the Colossal Cave or Adventure homage. You go find treasures, bring them back, and then get points. If you want to shut off my voice, please just push the V key on your keyboard. Okay, so get sneakers. I would call this quality of life, being able to switch from the graphics to the text only. It's a nice touch. Okay, so we got sneakers. Let's climb stairs. Now that we played so many adventure games, I'm following walkthroughs because I've learned my lesson back in 1980 and 1981. We're not going to be painfully trying to play the game as if it was the very first time playing it in 1982 because, oh boy, it's rough. All right, so we're going to climb stairs. Let's see what we got here. What do we got? What do we got? We have books in a bookcase. Exits are down. Okay, so let's go ahead and get book. Any book. There's a strange sound. Well, I turned off voice. I didn't turn off sounds. Oh, cool. It caused a secret passage to appear. Okay, so let's read the book. Now that we can see the secret passage, it makes more sense. It says, yo-ho, and a message. Long John Silver left 2 treasures on Treasure Island. And that would be the quest. That's the whole game. Just find the 2 treasures, come back to the original place, and then get your score, and bada bing, bada boom, you're all done. Okay, so after we read the book, don't forget your code, and now we go through the passage. The secret passage. Very nice. All right, so does it describe this area? No, just a secret passageway. Okay, great. And then after we do that, let's go east, which is just continuing down the corridor. They have to write the word sunlight. For the visually impaired, what are those things on the ground? See how slowly drawing everything in? Love it. So we got a musty attic, and we have a pirate duffel bag, unlit torch, rum bottle smashed to pieces, and a sign opposite of light is unlit. Oh, okay, so that is not sunlight. It's an actual sign on the wall. All right, so after that, we're going to open the bag. Something falls out of the bag. Oh, show us. Show us what it is. Oh, it doesn't show too much. All right, and then get matches. Those little things in the bottom left are matches. And got them. Okay, great. Draw it back. That on the left side is a torch. If you don't know for sure, you can check the text. But trust me, it's a torch. I know at this time, whenever I play adventure games that were graphic, that I would have to guess what is that pixel that they're having. And so it's really helpful when you can say look at ground or look at wall, so it tells you what it is. All right, so after that, let's go west. Out of the secret passage. And west again. Redrawing every time, not too shabby. And waiting for the text parser. Yep, draw it in, get the passage there, nice. Then go window. Go window. Oh gosh. Looking down from the top, scary. All right, so, and then say, yo ho. Everything spins around and suddenly I'm elsewhere. We use the code from the book and it sends us swirling and swirling. Oh yeah, show off those colors on the Apple II. Hit return, please. Where are we going to go? If you're a fan of adventure games, and we've seen a few from magazines we've read in 1982, this would be an excellent title. A fun time for 1982. All right, here we go. Where are we? I'm on a sandy beach on a tropical isle. We have a small ship's keel and mast, sand, lagoon. A sign in the sand says, "Welcome to Pirates Island. Watch out for the tide." So we made it to the Pirates Island, and then from here, you move around, solve more clues, try to get more treasure, and then make your way back, and then score the points. It's the same release as it was originally without graphics. That as far as I can recall, there's not too much they changed as far as the gameplay. But for the time, to be able to play a enhanced version of a game is very, very rare. It's like we see this all the time nowadays. But I mean, Pirate Adventure and the Adventureland series is kind of cool they did this. I'd still say for all the titles you could play on the computer, this is an above average title. I'm going to go 3.5 stars for Pirate Adventure. It's still welcome, even though there's lots that Scott Adams has done for adventure games, but it is a good time for 1982. And with that Votrex voice, that kicks it up just a notch if you want to have the game read to you. All right, so after Pirate Adventure, let's see where we're going now. We're back on the Commodore VIC-20. Hey, William Shatner, sell us some VIC-20s. This is Satellites and Meteorites. Let's take a look at Satellites and Meteorites, starting with the box. Yeah, Mark's with me on that one as well. So the Satellites and Meteorites is a very well done box for a computer game. This is by UMI, and you can see we're playing another space game, shoot 'em up. They were so smart to get William Shatner to sell these systems, because there's no coincidence that I'm a Star Trek fan. There's no coincidence that I'm a Star Wars fan. Everyone that had sci-fi or enjoyed sci-fi, you bet they wanted to see William Shatner. Like, what if William Shatner says I need to buy this computer, then I need to buy this VIC-20. It didn't sell as well as the 64, though. All right, so do we get both sides? Oh, we do. Nice. Okay, so hordes of meteorites and satellites lace the sky. As you fly through and try and shoot down as many as you can, each satellite has its own special characteristics that you must deal as you approach. When the black hole appears, sucking everything into an abyss, you must break free of its grasp to continue your quest. To do so will take every bit of skill and cunning you can muster. What other artwork do we have for satellites and meteorites? Very generic style of name for the game. There's the cartridge we're going to pop in by Roger Merritt. That's right, cartridge into your VIC-20. We got to. For other versions, we just have the European release and North American release in several different parts. Let's pop in and play Satellites and Meteorites by Roger L. Merritt, published by UMI, United Microwave Industries, the beginning of May 1982. Oh, am I in? Wow, it went fast. We loaded in cartridge, and I'm after going from Adventureland, I've already died twice. Okay, so right off the bat, it pops in and plays. I already have game over. That was fast. I wasn't ready. Oh, we get point values, though. They didn't do an attract mode like they do with arcade games on the computer. It just says, here's the game, go. So hit F8 to start again. All right, so it is Asteroids on your VIC-20. It is a smooth feeling one. I'll give it that. As far as the gravity goes, to play with your Commodore VIC-20 joystick and to just pop it and play is awesome. They were advertising this system as why buy a console when you can get a computer that plays the games even better than that. And to tell you the truth, compare this game back-to-back to Asteroids on the Atari 2600. I'd give this one over that. I died really fast, though. Let's go F8 again. Interesting way they loaded there. The screen did a little bit of artifacting and felt like it was blurred away before it could fly through. And this isn't it. There's also more enemies. So if you get far enough, they have what's called the black hole to shoot away. The UFO shows up as the green character there. Not as much shrapnel for Asteroids, but plays well. Gravity feels really good on the VIC-20. I'd say the gravity even feels better programmed than Omega Race. Yeah, the controls are very, very nice. Animation Asteroids really isn't the best. You know, they just disappear. I don't see the shrapnel flying, or they're not really using gravity on the... well, I guess a little bit on the Asteroids, but you see when they splatter apart, there's not a lot of debris. So it's not as exciting, but still a very fun and very well done game on the Commodore VIC-20. What I'm working on right now for our list of all games is, so it's easy to find games that are like others. So I want this to be known as this is an Asteroid variant. Oh, we did it. We got the black hole. Oh, that's cool. So if you do survive long enough, the black hole will start sucking you in. You got to work yourself away from it. Go, go, go. Oh, not fast enough. Yeah, very, very well done Asteroid variant, especially for the VIC-20. And we saw the other Omega Race, which is kind of like the same idea. The ship's shaped the same way in Omega Race, and it's supposed to be playing the same way. But I'd say the gravity is programmed better in this one than in Omega Race. I mean, compare it also to the Atari. It's done better, looks better, and plays better than that. Yes, our ship, though, could use some work. I see why it could be a flying pitchfork. Oh yeah, hear that? I'm just drifting through space, screeching away. Love it. Yeah, I would give that as a very good Asteroids variant. So for satellites and meteorites, we have to think of all the other asteroid variants we've seen to this point. Some of the really good ones were done on the obscure Exidy Sorcerer. That was a pretty good Asteroids game. And then we've seen others on home computers that kind of mimic what the arcade had, the wireframe vector graphics. This one kind of does its own thing. Looks really nice color-wise. And the play control is what really sells it. So a very well done version of satellites and meteorites. I'm going to say of all the computer games we've seen at this point, I can go 4 stars. If you want to play a really good Asteroids game, this one has it. And they even have that black hole with kind of adding the element, a little bit of space war. You know, the black hole shows up and you got to get away from it. So I'm going to go 4 stars for satellites and meteorites. Yeah, it's a very, very good version of that, especially for 1982. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Cool, it's the TRS-80. This is Saturn Patrol. We miss you, TRS-80. Give us an arcade game. Another game that we don't have any box for, just a few screenshots, so we're popping in and going to play Saturn Patrol, the beginning of May 1982 by Bernard and Bowie Software. Bowie Software? All you got to do is type Saturn and play. I haven't been disappointed with TRS-80 games. This late in the system's life cycle. It's Model 3. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Press P to play. P? Oh, I pushed P. Oh, I guess second time's the charm. Okay. All right. Oh, no joystick control. We've had a lot of joystick games. Okay, so it's keyboard only. Fixed shooter. I'm at the bottom of the screen. I can move left and right. Can't fire at Saturn. Oh, they blew me up. How far can I go? Okay, so going left and right, one shot at a time. And it looks like, oh, the enemies are coming down. Oh, and they can, oh, if they reach the bottom, then they can slide across the edge to destroy you. But, wow, it's fast. You got to be not doing a live show while playing this game. There's a lot of games that require concentration, and this is one of them. And apologies again, the flashing is real. Welcome to May 1982. They gotta let you know you're really dead. That's so fast. Game over, only 420 points. Yikes. What is this? High score. Oh, that's nice. Let's see if it works. Space. It does. Nice touch. How do I finish? Oh, do I do more than initials? Oh, enter. Okay. That submits the high score. This is the first game we've seen by this company on the TRS-80. Gosh, that's rough. Oh my gosh. You can tell there was no playtesting done on this one. Or it's for the hardcore shooters to play. I only got one shot at a time, so you need to be really careful how you fire. And you can see there, the enemy that gets to the bottom of the screen just slides along and can kill you really fast. So, brutally difficult. It still would be a fun title in 1982 on your TRS-80, but I wouldn't see you getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. Or at least the longevity wouldn't be very long. I want to see if there's other screens, if I can make it past the first one. But it looks like I'm going through different waves. Oh, wow. Death so fast. Didn't even get the high score. Yeah, way too hard. There's no joystick, too. It's keyboard only. I take it back, Mom. I don't want to join the Saturn Patrol. I want to stay here on Earth. Gosh. We played a lot of fixed shooters and a lot of difficult fixed shooters, but because of how close the ships are and when their bullet is fired, there's not a lot of... Gosh. I feel like it would play better if the ships were just a little bit further away, but God, they're so close. And then when they get to the ground, wow, they destroy you. So you could argue that I'm just not very good at shooters, and I can understand that. All right, I'm going to go one more shot. Come on. Oh my. They just sent a wave of bullets down right in the beginning. I also don't know what's driving the ships to get to the ground and how I can stop them before they do that. And I also don't see patterns. They are very random. This might be the shooter that has killed us the fastest. We die a lot here, specifically in role-playing games, but this might be the fastest death of any shooter we've ever played. Yes. Kaizo Space Invaders. It's because you're so close to the ships. And look at this, they randomly put... We don't even know how many enemies are going to be on top or not. Okay, I'm getting very lucky this time. I don't think I can... Okay. Wow. This is the game that will have your mom cheering if you can get past the first stage. Alright, so I just want to check to make sure... You have a vessel on the bottom of the screen that can move laterally, fire vertically upwards. Alien vessels arrive from Saturn. Yeah, of course they do. An attempt to destroy the player. You have a shield that can activate once per life. Prevents alien spaceships from approaching. They approach too close, will sweep across the bottom and destroy the player. The player has 5 lives, and when it's game over, all are lost. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about another screen, but it does say something about a shield. What is my shield? S? Z? As I'm trying to figure out my shield, I will die. Oh, yes. Ah, there it is. Can I shoot? No, the shield you activate... Oh, gosh. Okay, so I can understand how you can use the shield, but you can't shoot past the shield. It's not like Gorf. You don't get that protection. I'm just going to get enter. Yeah, Saturn Patrol is rough. See, look at that. We got the shield to protect us, but once per life, that's it. That's all we got. That's the one saving grace. Yikes. Oh, yeah. I want to know if they actually played the game. Were they so good at fixed shooters that when they were testing this, they said, yeah, this will be great. Send it out. Everyone's going to love the challenge. Because I'm be hard-pressed to know someone that was that good developing the game for Saturn Patrol. So I gotta say it's a kind of a lower rated TRS game. It is around the average mark for the games we've seen to this point. It's not bad. It's brutally difficult, and it's not giving you a lot of options for players or other enemies on the screen. So I'm gonna go subpar. I'm gonna go 2.5 stars for Saturn Patrol. I don't call it bad. But just a brief recap, if you're watching the show and you want to know how the 5-star rating works, if you ask yourself, is this game broken? You're going to be in this range. What's the broken range for this game? If you say the game's bad, you're going to be in this range. If you ask yourself, this game's bad. If you say this game's about average for the time it came out, then you're going to be in this range. If you ask yourself, this game's a great game or an excellent game for the time, yeah, you'll be in this range. And if you ask yourself, this is one of the best video games you could play at the time, then you're in this range. And we all obviously mean the best video game you could play on a home computer, the best video game you could play in the arcade, the best video game you could play on a handheld, and so forth. Because we're obviously not going to say that something you play in the palm of your hand is going to be the best game. You have to compare it to all the other handhelds out there. All right, so we're going to go 3.5 stars for Saturn Patrol. Another one that had potential. I believed in it, but it just didn't cut it. All right, so that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Push the space key, push the break key. If you were in 1982, how would you rate these games on our 5-star rating scale? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it for today. And like I always say, a quick snack or a good night's sleep will heal all wounds. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.